In the law of karma says that we are not the body, we are not the mind, we are what is called the antakarana, or the spirit, or the jivan, or atman, or the spirit, or the soul, or chaitanya, or divinity, or God. So it is that divinity within us, or the chaitanya, which can be a combination of what we can call energy, intelligence, information, and everything to do with design, concepts, principles are all in this chaitanya. But primarily a force is the one which is giving us what is called life. Whether it is for the electrons to move around the nucleus, or to move the planets around the sun, or the stars around the galaxies, or the galaxies are expanding at million times a speed of the earth, and all those movements, where is the energy coming from? Where is the energy for the sun, which is like a hydrogen fusion or fission? All the stars are shining because of hydrogen, oxygen, and other elements, fission or fusion. Where the energy coming from? The energy is coming from the so-called Chaitanya. So first understanding which I want to say about India's concept is the Chaitanya is the one which gives the power to the mind. The power to the mind comes from the inner antakarana called soul or Chaitanya, which is the only one which is eternal, which has no birth, which has no death, which is it doesn't move, it is moving and non-moving, it has no shape, it has no name, it is not known, it cannot be felt, it cannot is unknowable, it cannot be known at all, or unknowable. That is unknown, which is neither moving nor static, which is neither seeing not seen, and that Chaitanya is the one which is responsible for our thinking. Now what is our mind? Our mind is getting the ability from the Chaitanya. For the Chaitanya gives the power to the mind to cognite or to see. Our five senses, which are the eyes, ears, nose, etc., etc., the five what is called pancha indriyas, what you call pancha, five senses, are getting their power through the mind. If the mind is not there, the eyes cannot see. If the mind is not there, the ears cannot see. We cannot feel the touch at all if the mind is not there. Many times we say, my mind was not there. We say, my body is aching, my legs are not moving. So I am not the leg, I am not the hand, I am not the mind also. Very often we say, my mind is very dull today, my mind is very bright today. So we are neither the mind nor the five senses. Therefore the first thing to understand in civilizational evolution is the fact that we appreciate that we are the spirit and not the body. This great argument has been going on for thousands of years, whether materialism came first, whether matter came first, or the mind came first, or the spirit came first. Western materialistic philosophers, particularly the so-called communists and Nirishwaravatis or atheists, believe that matter came first, and thereafter matter evolved and mind came and the Chaitanya came. According to Hindu philosophy or Indian philosophy, it is the Chaitanya came first, then came the mind only every other entity in the world, including the gross body of the human being, and including the mountains and rivers, including the galaxies and stars, all came afterwards. And that is what the basic difference between Indian philosophy or Indian civilization and other civilization or thoughts or scholars in the world is this concept of what is called the spirit within. And the spirit within is the same whether it's that's why Christians say, or Jesus is reported to have said, kingdom of God is within you. What they call Allah in Islam is also in a way the spirit within us. That's why in Tamil we always say kada ul, go inside. So whether it is in Bhagavad Gita or whether it is in the Bhagavatam, or in the 108 Upanishads which form the the spiritual literature of the Hindus. Everywhere it has been repeatedly said that we are the Chaitanya or the divinity or the godliness within us, and not the body, mind, equipment. They are all equipment for the man to see the world, to enjoy the world, to suffer in the world. So one basic difference between what is called the Western civilization and Indian civilization is our concept of law of karma. The law of karma or destiny, or what is called the law of rebirth. Man cannot keep quiet. You will find it extremely difficult to keep quiet. The mind is always active. Even when you are sleeping, the mind is active. We see dreams. What are we doing in the dream? The mind is still working. But whether you are sleeping, deep sleep, or you are seeing a swapna or a dream, the Chaitanya remains. Who wakes us up in the morning? It is the Chaitanya which tells you, please wake up. The mind gets the power that I should wake up or go to sleep because of the action of the Chaitanya. It's the same thing which makes you breathe. We breathe up and down so many times per minute, all because automatically is being done by the act of the Chaitanya. And that's why even the blood flow, if you like, or the digestion of the food, if you like, taking place, or by battling the eyelid, if you like, everything takes place because of the automatic action. That's why the Hindus have conceptualized that the stula sharira, or the gross body is the sharira, the body, and which contains 70 to 80% of water only. And behind the Sarana Sharira, we got called the Prana Sharira, not the air that we are breathing, but Prana, the vital air, you can call it that way. The subtle body consists of the Pranamaya Kosha, or the sheath. There are 5 sheaths which we have: the Stula Sharira sheath, then the Prana Sharira sheath, then Manonmaya Kosha. Manonmaya Kosha means the mind kosha. The mind itself has got what is called the emotion part, a memory part, a definitive will power part, and the ego part. I shall repeat that. Mind has got a memory part, which is called what we call the chitta. Then we have the emotions, raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes. What we have, what is called all our attitudes, behavior arise out of emotions, prejudices, love, affection, hatred, prejudice, etc., come from what is called the emotional mind. And then comes the deterministic body, or the willpower of the man, which says, I will do this, I will not do that. I like it, I don't like it. And therefore, the determining factor, or what is called the willpower, is coming from what is called one part of the mind called the Vijnanamaya Kosha, or Vijnanamaya Kosha, or the intellectual sheath, you can call it that way. And finally, the fourth sheath is called what is called the fourth part of the mind is called the ego, ahankara, I. The moment you wake up in the morning, the I comes into mind. The largest maximum number of times a man uses the word I. I got up, I did this, I did that. That's the ahankara, or the I-ness of the man. The great philosopher, or I would say a great saint, Ramana Maharshi, always used to say, please find out what is this I, who is this I, where is this I coming from. In Tamil they say, Nan yar, who am I? Am I this ego, or the little self, or the larger self? And the larger self is called spirit, as I mentioned to you. And there is something called Karana Sharira. Karana Sharira means causal body in English. That causal body